Oh, God. All right. Hey, guys, it's Tarkon. I was just cracking myself up. Happy New Year, by the way. I hope everybody had a really good holiday season. I did. I'm a few pounds heavier, but other than that, I'm intact. Uh, Visiting the family here. We still have some Christmas lights up, as you can see. Those are coming out down in a couple of days. But for now, I actually wanted to just stand here and show you guys that. See my beautiful head illuminated by these pretty lights, and there's some angels right there. If you can see the okay, if you can see the angels right there. So I'm surrounded by lights and angels. You see that? Isn't that awesome? Anyway, Happy New Year. Merry such and such and all that stuff. I wanted to do a quick video on the topic of letting go, because somebody left a comment, and I think it was Ash, if I'm not mistaken. It was Ash. I think it was you. I think in my response to your comment, I mentioned the idea of letting go versus the idea of giving up, because I believe in your comment you mentioned giving up. And I felt it was important for me to elaborate on that just a little bit further, to try to kind of talk about the distinction of what that is. Now, I'm sure if you guys, and it seems like from your comments, which I love, by the way, I've been really enjoying the comments, and thank you for those. But it seems like a lot of you guys, from the comments I've been reading, you've watched other videos, you've read other material on this topic from other gurus or coaches. So you've probably heard this 1,000 times, all right? Letting go, detachment, how important it is, and why it's important, all right? So I don't want to rehash all that stuff. That's not really what I'm doing this video for. But I do want to talk a little bit about the difference between letting go and detaching. I'm sorry, giving up and letting go, or giving up and detaching. That's what I was talking about. Because letting go is very different from giving up, right? And I hope that you understand the difference, because giving up is kind of like saying, this isn't going to work for me, this is bullshit. I've tried, nothing's happening. I'm going to throw in the towel, and I'm going to go back to my miserable life as somebody who believes that I cannot influence my reality or my circumstances or myself or the behavior of the people around me, which would be really sad if you did that. So please don't do that. Giving up, and I think here's a point I wanted to make about this, because I think a lot of people who come to this material are afraid of this notion of letting go, because they equate it in their minds with giving up, right? Or they think, well, if I let go, that means if I stop thinking about what I want. Oh, the lights just went up. It's on a timer. If I think about giving, if I stop thinking about my desire 24/7, if I stop obsessing about it 24/7, then it's not going to happen, right? So I'm not going to let go, because it seems like, Mr. Guru, you want me to let go because really what you're saying is that I'm never going to have what I want. And in this case, I'm never going to be with the person I want to be with. So why don't you just cut to the chase and just tell me that I'm full of it and that this is never going to happen, and just tell me that, I should give up. So people think that folks like me are trying to trick them, right? Like, just stop focusing on what you want, and that's kind of our little trick to kind of get you to, give up, right? Not the case, right? Because we're saying quite the opposite. And I'm saying it that way because I've actually heard people say this to me, okay? So, and I've been in those shoes too, because I've been afraid of this idea of letting go myself, and I've reacted to teachers and books and videos telling me to do the same thing in the past in much the same way that you might be reacting to me saying it, right? Why is detachment so important? All right. I want to come back to something I've said in another video. I don't remember which one, but I know I've said it. We're talking about attraction, right? We want to attract things, something. In this case, maybe it seems like for most of you visiting my channel, what you want is a specific person back in your life. So in this case, let's say we're talking about attracting a person, all right? So then the idea of attraction becomes much more easier to deal with, because if we want to attract a person into our lives, we have to become attractive, right? Now think about what attractive is. And I'm not just talking about physical attraction, that's a whole nother thing, but specifically talking about behavior. Attractive behavior versus repellent behavior, all right? Think about this. Have any of you ever had somebody who was really into you, and then they text you all day? I'm sure the ladies here in the channel actually have had this experience a lot. I certainly hear a lot of women talk about this. You know, guys who won't get the message, right? They blow up your phone. Exes that you're not interested in anymore, begging and pleading with you, contacting you all the time, or their behavior is strange. They're trying to get your attention, whether in a negative way or a positive way. And you can see right through it, right? There's something repellent about their behavior. There's something about it where you go, oh man, if he only didn't do that or say that, maybe I could give him a chance, but no, not like this, right? It's unattractive behavior. Neediness, desperation, they're unattractive, all right? They're repellent qualities, behavioral qualities to display. So what's the opposite of that? What's attractive? Confidence. Now, if you feel detached from what you want, is that a sign of confidence? I would say yes, absolutely. It's a sign of confidence. Being centered, emotionally mature and centered. Now, if you say, hi, I really want this, but it's okay if I don't have it. Is that centered? Is that being emotionally mature? Sure it is. And is that attractive? I think it's attractive, right? So, let's apply this for a minute to these principles that we're talking about, these law of attraction principles that we're dealing with, right? How does this apply? Well, we're dealing with a concept called the law of attraction. So, what does that mean? Well, it means you want to become like a magnet to the things and the circumstances that you want in your life, that you prefer, right? And all of you are coming to these videos and reading your books and coming to these teachings with the same thing in mind. You all want your life to be different in some way, right? You want that lover, you want that money, you want that certain health condition, you want people to treat you better, you want a better job, whatever it is that you're after, it doesn't really matter. It comes down to the same thing. You want something different than what you have now, all right? But if you display qualities, and I want to talk about this in terms of vibrational content, vibrational communication, because you can do affirmations all day long. The universe is going to know when you're full of shit, okay? It knows when you're lying to yourself. It's not judging you. It's not telling you, I'll only give you what you want if you behave this way. No. That's not what it's about. It's about being attractive versus being repellent, right? Now, it's picking up, your higher self is picking up on you vibrationally. You're communicating vibrationally all the time and energetically all the time. So if you're sitting around going, I have the thing, I have the thing, I have the thing, but you don't really believe it, what you're putting out there is, I don't have the thing. Because when we talk about concepts like living in the end result, which is, I think, a Neville Goddard thing, living as if you have the thing, acting as if you have the thing that you want already. Well, think about it. If you wanted to be wealthy, then, and you were wealthy, would you sit around doing affirmations about being wealthy? Would you read books about how to be wealthy or how to attract wealth? Would you be watching videos by schlubs like me telling you how to attract wealth into your life? No. You'd be coming from a wealth mindset. You'd be coming from the mindset of someone who already has wealth and abundance. So then how do you behave? How do you go through your day? Same thing for the relationship that you want. If you live from the end result, and living from the end result, by the way, it's just a way of sending an emotional, well, a vibrational, energetic signal to the universe that the condition you want already exists, and you're not going to have it any other way, which means you're not going to behave or feel or think or talk as if it doesn't exist. Because if you do, that's what's going to reflect to it. That's what it's going to pick up on. It's going to go, oh, well, they don't have it. Look at how they're acting. Look at how they're feeling. Look at how they're talking, right? So you have to get yourself into that mindset, and that's where the work part comes in. It's changing your mindset to an attractive mindset, not a repellent mindset. You want to get out of the repellent mindset. Now, if you're suffering from what I've heard called the illusion of action, and in this case, I've done exactly what you've done, Ash, right? Where I'm not trying to call you out for this, by the way, but using my own life as an example, my own experience as an example, I've wanted somebody back in my life, and I've done the whole thing with the affirmations and saying to myself, well, it's not working, so I must do something. I have to contact her. I have to do some action and take over here because this thing isn't working, right? Now, what message are you sending out? Now, you mentioned in your comment you didn't hear back from the person and you were okay with that. Well, if you're truly okay with that, then that's good, all right? I've had that situation and I certainly was not okay with not hearing back from the person, but I understood later why it happened that way. That my resistance was still very strong and my thinking was still very much in the direction of I don't have that person in my life. I don't have this circumstance in my life. And I took that action out of desperation, out of a fear that what I wanted wasn't going to happen. And so what did I do? I interfered with the process. I didn't trust the process. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. It's not my job to figure out. But here I was trying to figure it out again. Here my ego was trying to take over the reins again. And what happened? I fucked it up, right? And I did it again and again and again and again and again. Yeah, till I got so out of control in my mind with it, I thought, to hell with this. I've screwed it up too much now. It's not going to happen now, right? Of course, it ended up going in another direction. The moment I let go, the moment I detached, the moment I behaved like someone who had the thing that he wanted. The moment I understood the idea, the concept of making yourself attractive to the thing you want. Make yourself attractive to the person you want. That means adopting an attractive mindset. And that mindset will translate to your behavior, your actions, your words. You will appear more attractive. It's not going to be more attractive to the person you want in your life. It's going to be more attractive to everybody, but also more attractive to yourself, right? That's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to get you to a point where you're recognizing that their opinion of you is really not that important. What they're thinking is not important. What they're doing is not important. Whether they're contacting you or not is completely irrelevant, all right? And I know you may not even right now you may be so deep in your emotional brouhaha around this thing that those words just are kind of like just going over your head, and that's fine, okay? Believe me, I've been in those shoes, okay? You'll get there. You will get there, and I know you will. Don't give up. So that's the point of this, Ash, and all of you out there who are thinking of this, giving up, right? I want to make sure that I get this message across. You don't want to give up because there's much more going on here than just attracting somebody into your life or re-attracting an ex into your life or attracting money into your life or whatever it is you're after. The whole process, this whole thing that's in your life right now, that's prompting you to make these changes, to learn these things, to open a book and explore, to go search for videos and articles on Google, to take the time to read them and to watch this video and to do whatever and to try to take the steps. You're making some very important changes in your life and in your perception that are going to help you forever until the end of your days. They're not just going to help you get back with somebody or help you get that money. They will help you with that. But what's the end game here? Is that really the end game? Because you're always going to want something else. What is it you're after ultimately? It's a deeper understanding of yourself and your abilities, and the world that you live in and your relationship to it, right? This whole process, and even if it feels really shitty right now, even if you're in the throes of an emotional upheaval right now that you can't seem to find your way out of, stick with this. Stick with it, because you're going to see that in the long run, this is all here. It's all helping you to develop some skills that are going to help you for the rest of your life. All right? The end game isn't the person. That person will show up, or somebody better will show up. Something good is going to show up out of that, okay? But it's going to be much more than that. It's going to go way beyond that. We're changing ourselves right now. This is a very important time to be on this planet. And the fact that we have these tools of communication that we have to talk about this stuff, right? That's very important too. I couldn't really do this 100 years ago. Hell, I couldn't even do it 10 years ago, really, as effectively, right? To reach people out there. So think about that. You know, there was a time not that long ago, you'd have to go hunting in some dusty old bookstore in, I don't know, Casablanca to find some material on this kind of topic, all right? Or the crazy guy on the park bench feeding the pigeons would talk to you about it, and you kind of go, all right, whatever, buddy. But think about what we have going on here. Think about all of this stuff is, the end game is that we're rediscovering our own power, right? That's what we're doing, and it's for everybody to do, okay? So on that note, and I'm babbling again because I get philosophical sometimes about this stuff because I'm passionate about it. I really believe this. I really believe we're changing the world by doing this. One person at a time. By working on ourselves, by trying to become the best version of ourselves that we can, we are changing the world. So what you're doing is important. So do not give up, but let go, okay? So detachment. Here's something, and I want to wrap this video up because I'm tired and I'm starting to babble, which is what I do when I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed, actually. But I want to leave you with this, something to try, okay? And this is something that's helped me a lot in my situations, and it may work for you, it may not, but it's something I want to throw out there for you, just to give you a little sense of something, because in the past, something that's worked for me very well, in terms of, and remember, all these exercises are not for the end game of necessarily getting you your person back, okay? That's not going to happen. It's already happened, all right? It's already done vibrationally. This already exists in an alternate reality. The moment you conceived of it, it already came into existence. You're just trying to move yourself into a place of being able to see it, which is what receiving means, right? So this is not something we're doing in order to get the thing that you want. The thing you want is already there. It's to get you to the mindset of being able to perceive it and receive it, right? So very briefly, and I hope that this is not going to be too confusing, but when I visualize, when I want somebody to look at me a certain way, and now remember, we're not talking about free will here. We're not messing with anybody's free will. We're talking about influence, and we do this all the time. We're human beings, and we're all political, and we're all constantly influencing each other. I'm influencing you right now. You're influencing me when you're leaving comments and subscribing to my channel, which I hope you keep doing, by the way. And if you haven't, please. But anyway, so we're doing this all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. It's our nature, all right, as human beings, to do this, and it's perfectly natural. We just have to learn to be better at it, okay? Not to be so forceful about it. So, briefly, what I will do is I will visualize myself as them, perceiving me in the way that I would prefer for them to perceive me. Does that make sense? If I want somebody to think of me as a nice person, I visualize myself seeing myself as a nice person through their eyes. All right? If I want a girl to really like me, and go, ooh, that guy's interesting, I try to look at myself through her eyes, in her head, having those feelings about me. All right? That's about as simple as I can put it, really, and I hope it makes sense, because this isn't really something I can explain in words. This is something that you have to explore for yourself, and I want you to do that. In fact, do it right now. Turn off the video. No, don't. After the video is finished, please do this if you can. Find the time to do it today, or this week at the very latest, all right? And really play with this idea. Think about your specific person. Think about how they would look at you. How would they feel if they looked at you in the way that you want them to look at you, perceive you, right? Imagine them being in the room. Well, imagine you being in the room while they're perceiving you. Let's say they see you in a bar or in a coffee shop, all right? How do you want them to feel when they look at you? Try to feel those feelings. Now, what you're doing is you're sending out that energetic signal of, ooh, I'm really attractive, right? They really like me. The possibility of that starts to become more real for you in your mind, but also something else happens here in this exercise that's very important. You start to understand what's attractive about you, right? When you look at yourself as an observer, and most of us are sitting in this little space between our eyes, right? And that's how we see ourselves. We're constantly worried, how do they see me? How do they see me? Do they like me? Do they like me? Do they like me? You're trying to get to the point where you're liking yourself, all right? You have likable qualities. We all do, okay? Try to understand what they are through the perspective of an observer, and try to make that observer your specific person that you want to attract into your life. Play with this idea for a while. How do you want him to look at you? How do you want her to look at you? How do you want him or her to feel when they look at you, right? Now when I've done this, I've had some incredible results in terms of just the way I felt about myself. You know, I would do this exercise for maybe a couple of minutes and then go off and have the most fantastic day. I'd be walking around with my head held high, thinking, man, I'm cool. I'm a badass. I'm worth it, man, you know? So at the very least, this exercise is a great exercise in practicing self-acceptance and self-love too, all right? So I want you to try it. And if you have any questions about it, I hope this isn't too confusing, please leave a comment. I'll try to clarify if I can. But I want you to actually do it yourself. I want you to kind of play with it and see what feelings come about. Because, you know, this is about trying things out, okay? Don't force it to work, and don't think it has to work, and if it doesn't, then you failed, just try it. Just give it a shot. See what happens. And in fact, I'd like you to comment about what happens. If you tried it and you feel something, or something changes, or somehow it influences your day, even if it's negative, leave the comment, all right? I want to hear about it. Also, again, and if I haven't said this already, I've been getting such great, amazing comments from you guys lately. Man, it's just making me smile all the time. So I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate the subscriptions. There have been quite a few more of those. Please keep them coming. If you're watching this for the first time, this channel, and you like this video or any of the videos I've done so far, then please hit subscribe. Also, please check out the links in the description box. There's some great books there. They'll link you to Amazon. Yes, they are affiliate links. I'll always be honest with you about that. If you click on them and you buy something, I'll get a little money for it. I like money, don't you? It's time to like money. Also, speaking of money, there is a PayPal donation link down there as well. So if you like what I'm doing here, if you find value in it, and you want to give even $1, hell, even 50 cents, it doesn't matter. Anything will be received with great appreciation. And it will help, in the long run, help me to give you more valuable content, all right? So, thanks for watching. This is one of my things for this year that one of my goals is to upload more frequently, all right? And hopefully shorter video, well, 25 minutes, that's not so bad. I'll still be doing the emails and the podcasts. I am, once again, abroad. I'll be back home in a couple of weeks. I'll have my equipment around me, so I'll be doing more of those. But in the meantime, there'll be a couple more videos on different subjects relating to the thing that you want to know about, I guarantee. Okay? I love you. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful year. Don't forget to write down your goals. I'm going to do a video about goal setting as well, because it's very important. Okay? All right, guys. Mwah. Take it easy. Until next time. Bye.